ECOWAS say de bia yenye kebi mami kebi yento aban say ye amampanyin na ekeka ho. But ohwe amamanya ohia adokro omo ne yare ne na ekeka ho a wo nso mo a motato abayi amampanyin na hwe Nigeria, hwe Ghana, any other examples ayewo. Inti at this point in time no asrafo no dream say be civilians no enya omo opportunity. Inti ebia Kenya omo ho. Me no ka say out of 15 member states, ECOWAS are sure 3.
Yeah.
Into share percentage now 20% of ECOWAS is gone. Into one share year and there are 2 or 3 more kusa na ECOWAS say guano no. Because ECOWAS share bo that there will be free movement of persons and goods. Say o time nema wa ha o kolomia unya problem. O kwa Abuja na Lagos unya problem. But nanso ye mamefo a mo ye adwuma wo okanhye makola chegetia ni na ekeka omokoto niam o Togo ahwe challenges a omo face. ECOWAS extra share your boss say safer francophone countries AD Naira Ghana and Nigeria AD ni cedi Ghana AD no. Yes sir anya one single currency for the sub-region. I friend ECO. The BIS goalpost no ye shifted. Agenda say yes 20 by 2020 ye be achieve ye draw and say by say this. Enti timemfo ni be adwen say ya break bi mamin kebi. Enti yempress strong men a sebe omoka say ye fita mo betimi gina omonan. So and exactly that is the kind of leadership we are beginning to see in Burkina Faso. Me who say either Afrobarometer na CDD think tank be a poll and a survey say even Ghana timemufo ni be dwen say anka shifting called military rule. Make us say yin drew ho. I believe that ye to name year obe pe posa Bosha washe nipano oba as a president as an MP. What percentage of Sabosha are you able to achieve nini ekeka? Because nini penhia ne say ejuma wudi no ni nsonsanso e wo mo asetinem etesen. Bridges no wa hemfa, car kwan no wa hemfa, insuo a ye benom se begana ha. Ye say etumi transfer nipa ko ekure biase insuo a obenom po adani problem. Or ye teacher ni or ye nurse ni just okọ Riverside akwa sansu. Nkoda omuko school sometimes omofa canoe and so akwa school. Enti ebi dream say democracy a kwesi broni giant no ebia any Africa yesu ni ye ban ebibrem ha boy ebira kakra because ye ha no usi hene a onsesa no until say hene ohene no be bibia ebegu akonya no ho fi. Ba obeka say oh bedi man paying 4 years now so ye beto aba ye betimi yi o one hwe ya nipa no be use so short time no afom on mine no ejapade. Enti it's a debate within the international security and international relations arena. Say, has democracy served Africa and West Africa? If not, alternatives no ne dey. Sebi Ghana Armed Forces omudi omuhuni. Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces is the head of the executive arm of government. Oye mampinya ya tuwa ba eyino. Inti yenka se omunyeku wa Ghana. But concerns are civilians ni be a reason, for reason. It means civilian leadership no should do more to make sure say promises are more e de amagana for no ni fapema no omubetimi a achieve.
Alright, yen hwe yegusu kan no ko Burkina twe no ho afi France. Ebeboa oman no aboa sojani na wa siso abetena so.
Mr. France for ni francophone countries no endi ni yi. Osha Berlin Conference of 1884 any 85 abrofo no se omo cheche Africa se ne sebio ye de nam esi pampa so a ye dwudwa into those times no na Britain for choose countries are mo be dominate. Portugal for be choose so ye France Germany mpo nipa bebre nim se na Burkina na hye Germany ase into ho yina na efre no Upper Volta. But because Germany lose World War ninti, ye chiche, na some time ago Papa V issue by and Togoland issues by Volta region say omone Ghana for our pump say after 50 years so no omo true omo ho free because that side on ni na Germany for there. enti na wo hwe jeje abakosema ye say ni history trese ni fa ni papa na bibisa efre Germany na ki enti sa Volta side on me ko Togo no na Germany for edi ho akotene pa omoluso world war no na redemarcation of Africa no e course enti that historical antecedent is still there. But France for no sebe almost de emfahudi ama francophone countries, but up to now sebio we mampenyi wo Togo ana Cote d'Ivoire ana Guinea Conakry ana baby sa ne obebi aje so okoto Paris good morning sika omudimpo omo central bank France na control safe omudi bibia France na control omo reserves France na control enti omo fa wudi any anglophone West Africa to say Ghana Nigeria ni the Gambia ni Sierra Leone so eda yentem ne say omo de omo nya omo fa wudi no to say ye de no but up to now France for na control omo enti omo sika kokko omo fango so omo bia to say Cote d'Ivoire ni na kika ho France na control enti sa three countries and omo ina so far course ni ina ya francophone course Guinea Conakry, Mali, Niger, and Burkina are francophone. Is it that the anglophone countries are doing something our francophone phone? Yeah, nah. And answer as English speakers, no, we are not interested in coups any longer. And this is a debate you can, carry out in academia. But so far so good. Within ECOWAS West Africa, only francophone countries have been affected. France ni omo indini enti na sebe won se omo epusu omo ho makika omo ho a omo carry out so enti se omo ni France ton kwanta omo apai RFI Radio France International sometimes any omo din kitan omo apam omo ifri ho omo se omo ni France ni bibia and official language they are even discussing whether France as the official language omo yi no mumfa kasafufo a local language to represent the people of these countries. And this mama me say the more AES or share French kasemo Alliance for Sahelian States into Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Into enche almost say omo benya omo nkasa omo passport one share ya ubeko Burkina Faso ubi here visa and sawako because no any part of ECOWAS any longer. But member Ghana man paying for free abaso. Say obaye no or say there be so much your mumpo a free busiano more and no interest say sebe and tokwa and dientem. I was a young kofa tomatoes I here Ghana any JD any other things. You rely on Niger but you also rely on yen. And to share Accra Kumasi Road Echo Srema. Mpempi ohu video says one mo na akra niema say ni na tema port na ebe clear Ghana inyan faso because some countries when you na landlocked countries omo ni access to apple inti omo kodi dwa this omo ba Ghana inti na omo ato free amanoni no fapem ebe batema Ghana nso beje omo to inti Ghana as a country within ECOWAS your personal interest enti ye ne Burkina ni Niger ni Mali ntumi nye gidigidi enti mampanyi akwakoto omo nkra wakwakosra omo sorry and launch of ECOWAS bibi when so omo nsa from na so omo amma but it's a good gesture say mampanyi adwuma ye kane no ebi na oye and so share politics as diplomacy no oye adwuma o Japan embassy inti waye diplomatic wa mesuname wa Palestine embassy inti oti diplomacy ase inti he has handed over the olive branch say ECOWAS aye krado so person omo saba dia ebejo omo ntata but as things stand right now no mojidi say being on their own will benefit them and their population better than say omo bedom ECOWAS France ni UK control ni ekeka ho
kamia say odi akọ ECOWAS ho no kamia say ase Burkina Faso ne Niger ne Guinea zankrofo sara fo am pache se omonje ECOWAS NDBM adie na ma mbugina so a omonje zankrofo ne
nkane no na ye tafin kosua bom ye nanti bom na ye busua baako ni si ye ne se kusu no ekọọso no amasesa ya sebe asrafo di tuo ewo amaman no ECOWAS na ne pame obo Enti ECOWAS say borders no ya shut borders. Enti nema bebre ekodi ewe dwemu ewo ho ni na ekeka ho. Enti mo pame yen dia sebe tin tontin. Yenso ye betina ye baby. Enti se say na ECOWAS esa pa wo mo acho. So omombra I say de bia be ma ho sori a obo akonhoma 20 cities. Enti why ho say wo ye oga oyiri bibi kakra say meja wo mepam wo me say one day say na say aware no so mejai say wo kwa akosere ne busuafo say onsamra ototo niem yanka oyiri wenjai. Enti I think the blame has to be on the leaders of ECOWAS. So omo ebanium, and I believe at that time they were listening to some Western powers. Because to an extent, say, Alatamemo, Nigeria is the biggest black nation in the whole world. And Nigeria, the heartbeat of ECOWAS. Into the headquarters, no more Abuja. Into Omoman paying a chairperson of ECOWAS at the time of one of the coup d'etats. Nanado Idibi Pen, Mahama Idibi Pen in the past. Yeah. But Nigeria man paying Emma or more threat. So more hand over a civilian government. ECOWAS be form a military coalition attack, which for me diplomatically was a great blunder on the part of ECOWAS leadership. Yes, yes, be threatened the force. Eba be kunyani the ama civilians. I'm so okay. Ya crado. Obetimi amumra. And a mama me and ni na ka say ya attack ba quite say ya attacking na. Into you are really hardening them to an extent. So Omoji said the Omobetimi anante without ECOWAS. And it will take a great deal of work to convince these three nations say Omonsam bedom ECOWAS. You actually 20% of ECOWAS. You actually 2 or 3 more countries can one share ECOWAS will collapse.
Do you see it's coming that way? Say
the issue is what has ECOWAS achieved? Ghana ECOWAS here. This is a time your bag equal London in New York. Nigeria kwa here more. This is a abroad. Why can ECOWAS not have a central banker? Here soft loaners or Maya will be to me provide the amount. ECOWAS in a wire and say or ECOWAS Parliament. In Ghana Parliament, our representatives from NDC and MPP. Once in a while now more Parliament on Masaba. Almost our ECOWAS Court of Justice. Yeah. And so we did say you've suffered injustice and human rights abuse to me coho. But if we are found would the fapem age na nema no so. The strength of wasra for any usika. Enti ne obebi abela la sulala. Identity America e control if we are suffering. Almost strong army, SA was strong currency a $1. And net in crime. Apartment you or rent just $3. If you are out to just $3. Now so in America. That is how powerful you can make your currency and your economy. So I think the focus of ECOWAS should be about having a standby force, having a central bank, having a common currency. Sebi ye county countries are or more matter. We are suffering na ye West African countries account. But I say ye committee akwa konumti. Yes, so Mombra Pedias Lord, no maba betina 3 days, no moko. Mombra and crying, no maba be di buffet, no moko. Ye kushia wa Abuja, ne yempe informs what time or mobagum. Ubi Sanipa say in the past 25 years since we started the 21st century, current one, DNA ECOWAS are achieving. So the achievements are not substantial enough for the countries to feel that they can continue to be part of this alliance. In the 20 years down the line, 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line, if there are 2 or more coups within West Africa, then ECOWAS will be on its way to collapse.
Dr. ECOWAS President Dr. Umar Aliyu Ture, Bramo Bagana no, eka se, omobi omo akwan se sankrofo epesa mo babaka. Oma already say ombejo but back to ne wo kan say ohwe niema ben na ECOWAS omo achievement bebre omo say ba na support some dey support aman hodo say bia ba na sikasem mu a they are sometimes ready to be supporting and after so ECOWAS road akwan ni bi omo ye na omo supportive vulnerables say bia nkronkitu school ni.
No, but eja share what European Union are achieving. Now, share ne ECOWAS ne African Union achieve Sebio Mr. Meka. there are 5 major regional blocks on the African continent. Omo bad time, African Union. Oba West Africa, your ECOWAS. Oko East Africa, or more IGAD.
Yeah.
Oba Central Africa, or more ICAS. Southern Africa is SADC. And the Arab forno. And the Arab forno, we've not played our cards well. Up to now, omo Middle East for omo nye bibremu for confusion kakra ewo ho. Into omo so omo adom Arab League. Into the tangibles are not there. The tangible South Africa is doing well because of what? Western interest in South Africa. Brofuna ne control South Africa up to this time. But what are the tangibles? Nema Ben ebit Osiwai Road, West African Road, Papa Ben. Now across 5 West African countries, because ECOWAS nasi and now constructing. And the tangibles are not there. With all due respect to our leaders in ECOWAS, I think we need to review the literature about the focus of ECOWAS and what we want to achieve. In the next 5 years, confidence will not be lost in ECOWAS. Nipa lose confidence. Say military rule. It means that they are encouraging their soldiers to carry out military coups. No. Nansen Burkina Faso almost anka attempted coup be because me say enne almost demonstration be akoso Burkina in support of the military leaders say support. It means that the psyche of the people, and let's say Gen Z for never has to say. And yeah, by year to ni bebrebe no cocoa boy is saying, me talk me kotomo ani boy is saying, me to data is saying. These are the basic bread and butter issues. So it's not too much about the system of governance you have. It's about the well-being of the people. And people are now crying out, say, it doesn't matter what process we choose in getting our leaders, which for me is a dangerous ground for us to be treading, because within West Africa and the larger African continent. And I believe, say, they can come again. Multiple generations of ECOWAS leaders have done their bit, but I think the scorecard is not convincing enough compared to other regional blocks across the world.
Burkina Faso, so omukasa omanyate omukasa motumo ho omuwanie echira ombetimi dejina asoman.
Neuhia asoman said to be a sovereign country. You control your airspace. Intention be a wimshin be a beban or tower or sentinel or other things or radar. It's just a higher media. Want to remember, you should control your land borders. You should be able to control the goods that come in. Smuggle them because you see cocoa ye lusu as a country through smuggling and even though we are a sovereign democratic nation. And you should control your maritime waters. You should control Apple. When you say oko jina teshi ana nunwa ana osuho bebia, you will be a friend of EEZ, exclusive economic zone, a few nautical miles. Intina, the fish in there, the possible oil in there, and other ornaments, international community in there, apart from your EEZ. Inti, your coffee shina, to me quite to a certain extent, you could do baby, it's where international waters. But ni woman say, ni say international waters, no kwakoshe mwa. Na abrofo the ships I can say air control a honso. Abra omonso mo man e wo baby fufuro kra. Enti I believe that by and large, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and all the countries have what it takes. Who controls our 3 elements of your sovereignty where eduane na opera obe duane no bae fango na opera obetime you so resources are mbepo, you can blast gold, you can blast mountains to get gold nine ekeka ho. So I believe what we need is good leadership. Each country within the West African sub-region can survive without Western interference, but we need strong leadership. Nipa, what are the basic needs? If we empower local manufacturing, each of the countries, including Burkina Faso, will survive for 50, 100 years without Western interference.
I say US so no more company be Burkina Faso Traore ato and so waje from some say omunko and untama US force buafu BBC no US with ma over power your friend is Burkina Faso.
US were interest, France were interest, but usually the way they used indirect rule through our chiefs are more control in the past, up to now. They won't take soldiers from their country to come, except in exceptional cases to say Cote d'Ivoire.
Okay.
Laurent Gbagbo Nsensemba na Abrofone pe Alassane Ouattara.
Yeah.
And I show Mose Gbagbo wache. Oh, Cote d'Ivoire so Akonya no so. Papa we about third term ni Alassane Ouattara. And Ntasembe ne wo mu. It means say resources are mu hia no. We no undeniable. Enti na monka hwe emfa ho.
Yeah.
It means say yeke bi mami nke bi ni na omo pe. Emfa so a mo benyin free won chen. Saudi Arabia so omo nto aba.
Yeah.
UAE, United Arab Emirates, baby a Dubai wo. Me just say one oyere mo ko vacation, e bia mo be ka say mo ko Dubai. Omo nto aba o. Okoka say yensesa government insist ya obeyira. Why is America still doing business with them? Why is Britain still doing business with them? Why is France still doing? So it's not about democracy. It's about a more personal interest. And if Burkina Faso is saying they want to control their gold, it doesn't matter. You see, democracy, after independence, what the white people noticed and said, the only way they can control us is to create an alternative for changing our leadership.
Okay.
Look, even in the US, historically, the one who led them during the Second World War, Roosevelt, he was going for a third term. So I don't know, and yeah, abayense and yes, every 4 years, 8 years, or some pain, it's about getting a good leader who has principles. And those are the principles people are beginning to see in some of these school-ridden countries within West Africa. And no, nipa no okay, yes and yes and yes. You know, so you're there, you know. You into mean that and say, oh, come for vacation, ya kwa, ya mausika, ya mause, ni se obefia na wanu asesa. Come for vacation, ya kwa, ya mausika, ya mause, ni se obefia na wanu asesa. There be a no necessary. So we need the leaders with principles. So the white people will not stop at anything. Coup attempts were Burkina ever continue, sir. They won't stop until they are able to topple the government. Because the fear is that if people begin to look at Burkina Faso, a landlocked country, an impoverished country, and under this leadership, see what they are achieving, people will say, "Yenya US phobium, yenya France phobium, yenya UK phobium." So revolution always has a ripple effect. And throughout history, a jano so obeso udumu jano. Because one dumu nintema ebe spread. That is exactly the effort they will continue to make, sir. They will use local collaborators, they will use spies, they will use molds. The ankasa wankasa nipa na umube you so to be able to betray you. So they will not stop that. But I believe that if the Burkinabe regime is able to survive for 5 years or 10 years, then we would have a yardstick to say, sir, has democracy served us well within ECOWAS, and now we can look at alternative forms of governance.
And on Jinasunama, US military Major General Ababonti Abeka said, I say Ibrahim Traore used go the name Coco anywhere war or mine sono, as we used to the enrichment. And then almost one more Ababa said citizens and obey okay because near Ibrahim Yano. US man any njeho BBC ha
to say Gaddafi tana Libya so 42 years, but up to now, even though initially Arab Spring initials you be say Gaddafi were like we do almost watch or a dictator near but Libya is worse off than it was under Gaddafi. Libya under Gaddafi was the Libya being kwabru chiri omoko Libya from Ghana. Brekum for side on crying how Kumasi Tamale. Nipa bebre ekodi ye wo Libya and Gaddafi. Yento aba mpa obeka se kebi mami nkebi nye juma bebre ewo Gaddafi ase. But aye dia nipa enyaye and Gaddafi. Oko Medina Libya quarters. Omo hassle Libya and so beto to in SAS ECC adan. Ebi fa Libya ye kika. So I believe that it's not true. You see, you give a dog a bad name, then you hang it. Abrofo no omo sha say omo ye yodium. You are the star of Africa. You are the best president of Africa. Okoshe asia. Ofango, usika koko, ukoko, bibia odi acho. But we on say mempene a na omutu din bone.
Yeah.
Robert Mugabe jiji nsase no omutu ni din bone. Any other places. Enti oye ni omope a oye ni papa. One ye ni omope dia oye ni pa bone. Rwanda say under Paul Kagame.
Yeah.
Out of the ashes of a civil war, look at what Rwanda has become. You know what they call Rwanda now? Almost a benevolent dictator. Or you now so a dictator. Say yeah no moshase, but Rwanda is doing well. Enti me kachre me de ni die be kachre ahwefo na etiefo say yenye careful, especially ya yempanyimfo no. Omo ne abrofo no ye dealings omo hwe our interest before their personal interest, because broni no oba ha no or the interest na share bag or the abaha.
Yeah.
Wo nipa nso interest ne dey. And what are you doing to protect us? As for me, that is where we should look at it in our bilateral and multilateral relations with these countries. But say Ibrahim Traore or enriching their propaganda.
Okay.
The results are there to show that he's constructing roads, he's building factories, and I believe that Burkina Faso is doing well. Loyalty no credit. Look at the coups we have had in Ghana. Omutu Kwame Nkrumah Banso 66. They didn't survive it.
Yeah.
Omutu Buzia Aban. They also didn't survive it. A champion by from 72. AFRC under Jerry Rawlings, AB2 Nadia so. Jerry Rawlings as a military leader was the one who survived the longest. Why? Because he was young. Number two, he had loyalists around him. I say Aboa Bekawa na everyone to. And I didn't nipa ye juma. Unze minister ko baby, MP ko baby, president ko baby na asrafo address contain o makato money. Ni hia ni sa ketwa odi kofi. In the say be o man 10,000 cedis every month. 1 year one man 120,000. Obit Bemano 500,000. And I'll say, oh yeah, we are the 1 million Ghana cedi beka ho. Obeshe na ketria. Obetuana mombi. Intinipano is here with you because he believes in the struggle and the revolution. And then he's with you because of salary awutria.
Yeah.
Ejuma bia okase want to mean salary for 3 months. Oba wangasa na obe bie office no. Obi abeko. This nipa ba kominu bia they believe in your vision.
Yeah.
So for any military leader or a coup leader to survive, it depends on how he has been able to impact and impart the vision he has with the people around him. But one or two things ebeboa akwantu say obi tu kwan bebrebe no o te tu kwan ya itumi tu wade so easily. Say be Kwame Nkrumah na o te the baby. And now say oh Vietnam war no Kwame Nkrumah odi etituro nti behwe na yen solve. Kwame Nkrumah tam ne bag ko Hanoi na itu na there. So nti what I can also advise is that Ibrahim Traore can cut back on foreign engagements. So the biawo to kwan ni ekeka with chibeda ho. You will be naked at home. Nti I believe that they have the experience to put the necessary structures in place, whether poisoning or coup attacks and coup attempts in Ekikao for him to survive them.
The indigenous woman with me back Ghana, Tamagana, ABA, if I say, yeah, swear in president. It
was important for him to come.
Okay.
Burkina rely on Ghana more than many people think.
Oh, okay.
Message Kumasi Accra Road. I'm sure some of the videos have gone viral for you to see. Yes. Heavy duty equipment. So they need Ghana for their survival. And so therefore he needed to show that goodwill. And Ghana has a history. When him said Thomas Sankara, ono JJ time. Ono so no young guy to say we are. Ono so bless Campore, ni hu nipa na omu yu so ye. Itu na ban anana there so. But we need the MSA on President Mahama and any other country. And President Mahama has shown, say, he's not interested in allowing Ghana to be used as a launch pad. You too are there, so the collaboration is done within your country to compromise the people around you, and then within the region. And you don't look only within your borders. You look at the temperature within the sub-region. And I don't think President Mahama will allow, say, Abrofo be use Ghana as a launch pad to topple the regime in Burkina Faso. So I think that was a sign of diplomatic goodwill. So be joining your way, be a senator, be banning war fanching, and Anibra Pena or new president of Ghana. But I believe that based upon coup attempts, I echo so in what can't say poisoning attempt and I believe the longer he stays within Burkina borders, the better for him say to acquire, because and sometimes when according to and that ever town. Abrofona ayewadaroma abrofona omobeba in a set you say di titro ye ko we ko solve problem wa ha fie de we na wo ko solve obi problem enti obeka there so the plane we mshare na obeba ye close airport obefa himfa say Kwame Nkrumah for example isa but we've read the literature. Do you think the coup would have succeeded if Kwame Nkrumah's body was within Ghana? But he wasn't in the country. So when they declared so Mutu Nadia, so there was nothing you could do. And they never allowed Kwame Nkrumah back. Ni Muna at the end of the day, or Modebaha or Mobisi. So if Kwame Nkrumah was within the jurisdiction, even if he had lost Osu Castle and our Flagstaff House, I'm sure the civilians would have risen up to say Dr. Kwame Nkrumah no Mope. But only on my no there, it makes schools a lot easier. So I believe those are some of the measures. I believe they know better than I do. So we'll take care.
The Burkina at the end of the ABC, but France.